Hello, my name is Russell Myers. Welcome to Issues Unite. So, how is the Afghanistan withdrawal going? Not so well. If you've been hearing any of the news, the Taliban has captured reportedly up to 10 major cities in Afghanistan in the past week or two. What is the response of the U.S. government? Well, first of all, here, let's go to this. Okay, so the U.S. is placing bombers in Qatar. Yes, Qatar. This is Qatar right here. This is Qatar. Right there. Okay, so bombers in Qatar to bomb the Taliban. I thought we were out of Afghanistan. Well, that would mean that we're now no longer bombing. Not just ground troops are gone, but that we're not bombing. We're still trying to prop up the puppet government that was installed in Afghanistan. Yeah, I want you to take a quick look here. From Qatar, for bombers to get to Afghanistan, well, they can't fly over Iran. That would be an act of war. I'm not sure, but maybe Pakistan will allow us our bombers to fly over. Possibly, Iraq? No matter how you look at it, our bombers would have to go all the way over here and around over at Pakistan to Afghanistan, or all the way over to Iraq, Turkmenistan, and then over to Afghanistan. So that's not so good. Anyway, but yeah, so U.S. is sending 3,000 troops for partial Afghan embassy evacuation. Just weeks before the U.S. is scheduled to end its war in Afghanistan, the Biden administration is rushing 3,000 fresh troops to the Kabul airport to help with a partial evacuation of the U.S. embassy, which means we're still keeping people there. The State Department said the embassy will continue functioning, but Thursday's dramatic decision to bring in thousands of additional U.S. troops is a sign of waning confidence in the Afghan government's ability to hold off the Taliban surge. President Joe Biden, who has remained adamant about ending the 20-year U.S. mission in Afghanistan at the end of the month, despite the Taliban sweep, confirmed with senior national security officials overnight, then gave the order for the additional temporary troops Thursday morning. By contrast, Britain's Ministry of Defense said Thursday it will send around 600 troops to Afghanistan on a short-term basis to help UK nationals leave the country, and Canadian Special Forces will deploy to Afghanistan to help Canadian staff leave Kabul. A source familiar with the plan told the Associated Press. Just a little side note here. Another report from Reuters that I saw yesterday said that the United States government, with U.S. civilians in Afghanistan, are advising them to take commercial flights out of the country and will loan them money to take civilian flights out of the country. So the UK and Canada are evacuating their people. We're loaning out, our government is loaning out money to civilians to get out of the country. Yeah, is that abandonment of our people or what? All right, so let's continue on here. All right, the Pentagon's Chief spokesman John Kirby said that in addition to sending 3 infantry battalions, 2 from the Marine Corps and 1 from the Army, to the airport, the Pentagon will dispatch 3,500 to 4,000 troops from a combat brigade of the 82nd Airborne Division to Kuwait to act as a reserve force. He said they will be on standby in case we need even more than 3,000 to Kabul. All right, so 3,000 in Afghanistan and then another 4,000. We're up to 7,000 so far. All right, that are in Kuwait. Also, about 1,000 Army and Air Force troops, including military, police, and medical personnel, will be sent to Qatar in coming days to support a State Department effort to accelerate its processing of special immigrant visa applications from Afghans who once worked for the U.S. government and feel threatened by the Taliban, Kirby said. Now we're up to 8,000 troops. All right. The U.S. had already withdrawn most of its troops, but had kept about 650 troops in Afghanistan to support U.S. diplomatic security, including at the airport. Kirby said the influx of fresh troops does not mean the U.S. is re-entering combat with the Taliban. This is a temporary mission with a narrow focus, he told reporters at the Pentagon. So we're up around, back to 8,650 at least in Afghanistan, or, directly supporting the, presence in Afghanistan, plus bombers, which, are another issue. So what exactly does this mean? Aside from continued warfare on the part of the United States, military adventurism and attempt at a dying empire to maintain its hegemony, well, in the long term, what this means is the absolute collapse of the petrodollar. Let me go back to that map here, okay? And let me get there. I'll have to call whoever that is back. I don't even know who it is. All right, so let's take a look at a map of the region. Pakistan has already kicked us out. We're leaving Afghanistan. Obviously, we're not in Iran. Iraq, they told us to get out last year. Syria, our presence is absolutely illegal there. Oh, yeah, we've also got bombers in Turkey, though most of our bombers were also told to get out of Turkey last year, in case you remember, or a few months ago. We're not in Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, Tajikistan. All right, so this is the map of the Middle East. All right, look here, 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 here. All right, for the most part here. We're not here, we're not here, we're not here, we're not there, we're not there. This is from India all the way over to Syria, and at least to some degree in Turkey. This is the oil basket of the world. So all of these countries, Iran, Iraq, all of these countries are not going to be trading in the petrodollar anymore, which completely weakens the U.S. dollar at a time when our national debt is at least 28 trillion, 29 trillion, 30 trillion, and rising on a daily basis, a minute-by-minute basis. We've got supply chain disruptions and This, in addition to more and more countries selling off U.S. treasuries and T-bills and all investments in the U.S. dollar, because these countries have no confidence that these bills are debts. They are debts. And the U.S. has defaulted on debt in the past. So if they're selling off all of these debts, then it means that they have no confidence, no trust that we're ever going to be able to pay it back. And there is no reason to believe that we can pay off any debts. We don't produce anything of any consequence that would enable us to pay off debt. And the more that the petrodollar is weakened, the more that these debts are sold off, the weaker the dollar becomes, and then you keep on printing, and you dilute the value of the dollar. So, all warfare aside, this is an absolute decimation of the value of the U.S. dollar on the global stage. China and Russia are absolutely moving away from the dollar and strengthening their own currencies. They've been stockpiling gold for years, since at least 2013. And China now sets pretty much the value of gold for most of the world because of their massive reserves of gold, which dwarf anything that we've got, anything that we claim to have, which there are big questions about whether we've actually got those reserves or not. There are a lot of sources that believe that we just don't have those gold reserves. There's no proof that it exists. So this is a big problem. The stock market does not in any way prop up the value of the dollar. So this is a big deal. This does mean the end of the petrodollar. Like it or not, I talked the other day about China and Iran making a tactical arrangement which enables China to buy directly oil from Iran at allegedly discounted prices, whether it's discounted or not. I mean, you look at a map, you consider just the tactical arrangement, the short, transport from Iran to China compared to any oil that may be purchased from the United States. And yeah, it's a much more stable arrangement for them to buy from Iran than from us, especially with the trade agreement, sanctions and tariffs and all, and the conflict going on between the U.S. and Chinese government. Why would they want to buy from us when all we're doing is attacking them? Yeah, nobody wants to buy from America anymore because our government cannot be trusted. Anyway, this, even if we sent 50,000 troops back into Afghanistan at this time, the Taliban has controlled most of the country for years. In the rural areas, the only difference is that now they're moving into the urban areas to actually take over these centers of government. They have taken over governors, mansions and police stations and prisons, and been releasing Taliban members of the Taliban that have been imprisoned by the Afghan government, which strengthens the Taliban forces. And even if they release people that were not with the Taliban, well, if they come in and release political prisoners, whose side are those that were not with the Taliban? Whose side are they going to be on? Obviously, they're going to be on the side of the Taliban, at least for now, which is, this is the absolute collapse of the Afghan government. And with other countries evacuating all of their people, we don't have any alliance or anything like that backing us up. We don't belong in Afghanistan. We don't belong in any of these countries. They are not our countries. If Afghanistan needed our financial and military support that much to even maintain a presence in the country, that would mean that it's not a government. It would make it a U.S. territory at less of, influence than Puerto Rico, because at least there is an official U.S. government, structure in Puerto Rico, and there's no official U.S. government, territorial government in Afghanistan. It's allegedly supposed to be an independent government that can maintain control when we are gone, and that is not going to happen. That was never going to happen. And it never will happen. It never will happen. And like it or not, the Taliban, no matter how bad they may be, they live in this country. If it's up to them to want to rule that country, okay, the people that don't want to be there have had 20 years to leave. They've had 20 years to leave. And if they're still there, okay, fine. Help the ones out that don't want to be there, fine. But otherwise, get out and just get them out, get our people out, end this. Otherwise, what are we actually doing? There is nothing that is actually being done. Our purpose in going to Afghanistan was to get Osama bin Laden, which happened years ago. 2011? He's been gone for years. Our presence there has no purpose. All right, please share this video, talk about these subjects, and if you can, please donate $1 a month to help expand the channel, and I will catch you in the next one.